Alright y'all, so I was like being friendly with the bartenders and making friends, and I think I may have missed Sail Away, so hopefully they said that it's still happening, so let's see what we can find out, but whoops. Good morning, friends. Well, actually, it's afternoon, but anyway, hello, friends. We are in the car. I've got my favorite chauffeur taking me to the airport. I am going on my first Norwegian cruise ever, so we'll see how that goes out of California. I haven't done the Mexican Riviera or Baja California since like 2022 or something. I was on Carnival Radiance, and I only did the Catalina Ensenada, so this time I'm also putting in like Cabo San Lucas into that mix, so it'll be a new port and a new cruise line and all of that. We'll see how it goes. This is just me solo. Carlos is just driving me today, but he'll be on the next one next month for my birthday. But say hi, Carlos.
Hi.
Yeah, he's so into this vlog right now, but now we're coming up to the airport, so he's got to pay attention. But anyway, so yeah, that's what's up. That's what we're doing. I'll, of course, document my journey and getting to the place of the stuff. I'm gonna stay in a hotel tonight and board tomorrow, around 11-12 or so, and get going from there. So stay tuned for all that. I'll of course take you with me. We'll see what we see, we'll do what we do, and we'll talk soon. Good morning, my peeps. I am here in Carson, California, which is a little bit north of the LA cruise port area. I'm about 7 miles north of there. And yeah, I stayed here because this was like the closest I could get within my budget. I was trying to keep it extra cheap this time. I stayed here for 90 something bucks for for the night last night. Which isn't terrible bad at all, especially considering I'm staying in a Motel 6, which I haven't done in quite a while because I normally avoid these types of hotels, not because of the amenities or anything like that, but because they tend to be kind of like in not nice areas. But this one's in a great location, all kinds of shops and restaurants nearby, and it's probably the cleanest, like nicest Motel 6 I've ever stayed in. So yeah, I definitely can recommend the Studio 6 in Carson if you're going out of either the Long Beach or the Los Angeles cruise terminal. It was quite cozy and comfortable here last night for me. So I'll probably stay here again maybe at some point. But yeah, so I'm about to leave the hotel. I gotta check out in 6 minutes. And then I will call an Uber and head over to the cruise port. I've looked up the Uber. I'm looking between like $25 and $35, depending on, surge pricing and whatever's happening. But yeah, so not terribly bad. You can stay closer to the cruise port than this, obviously, but it got pretty pricey the closer I got. So this was kind of a compromise, happy medium, whatever. But yeah, as I've mentioned, this is my first time on NCL, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure how, their embarkation process is or if there's any differences or whatever. I have all of my documentation and things ready to go. I am a little nervous just because I've never gone out of this terminal and I've never gone on this cruise line, but it's always nice to go on a new adventure. So let's go see what we can see and do what we can do. And yeah, we'll talk soon. right, so I am on board. A little echoey in here, actually. This room is quite small. I got a regular interior. I did a guarantee, and they gave me this nice one on deck 12. I'm right across from the studio cabins. I don't have a studio cabin, so I don't think I have lounge access or anything like that. I'll explore that later. But I'm in the same area as all the other solos, you know, the ones that have the studios, etc. So Norwegian is very solo friendly from what I've heard. So I'm testing that out this week, among other things. Embarkation was fine. It took about 40 minutes to get on board. Lines were a little bit on the long side, but it's not the longest embarkation I've ever had. And it was all pretty standard stuff. Everybody was friendly. It seemed like a good vibe so far. Speaking of good vibes, I'm gonna go find a bar, I think, get this party started. I did eat breakfast earlier, some leftovers I had from last night, so I'm not like too hungry, but I will eat at some point in the near future as well. And I'm just gonna go explore and yeah, see what's happening around the ship and all of that. And I'll report back to you here soon. So also I have like a zit or something. Or maybe I got bit, I don't know. There's something on my face that makes me less cute. So that's fun, but it'll be fine. We'll work through it. Also, the lighting in this room is a little on the yellow side. I don't know if I said that already, but it actually looks pretty good in the camera, but in the mirror, I look quite, I don't know, jaundice-y, if that's, I don't know if that's offensive to say, but anyway, I was born with jaundice, so can relate, I guess. No. Anyway, let's go do stuff. I'll, of course, take you with me. We'll see what we see, what we do, and we'll talk soon.
So I left my room and decided to make my way up to the main pool deck, and it was pretty busy out there. People were, you know, starting to gather at the bars and all of that. So the line at the bar was a little bit too long. I didn't grab a drink, but I did look around and, you know, get some footage of the pool deck and all of that before heading back down into the inside of the ship. There are quite a few bars on board Norwegian Bliss, and the one that I came to first was the local bar and grill, and they also served food there. So of course I had them make me a whiskey something, and I ordered some wings. The wings are actually included in your cruise fare, which is rare. I haven't seen that in a while. MSC used to have them included, but they're not anymore. And Norwegian also has their own brand of beers, and I believe some liquor as well, and I always want to try local, so I did try some of that stuff, including this tasty and surprisingly strong Pilsner. And then from there I wanted to see what other bars were around the area. I came to this bar called Mix. It looked really cool, but this bar's main purpose is to serve the two restaurants, Savor and Taste, so it gets a little bit backed up, but I did grab an old fashioned from there and sat for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it was time for the safety drill.
Alright, y'all, so I was like being friendly with the bartenders and making friends, and I think I may have missed Sail Away, so hopefully they said that it's still happening, so let's see what we can find out, but whoops.
I was still in the lower part of the ship, so I stepped out onto the promenade deck to see how far we were away from, you know, the harbor or whatever, and we were still relatively close by, so I thought maybe there was still hope with the sail away party, so I made my way up to the pool deck, and sure enough, shenanigans were still going on. The main party was basically over at this point, but they still had music and stuff going on, and this guy put on quite a show before I made my way back down into the lower part of the ship, and soon the shops were open, so I decided to go explore there a little bit and make sure they had a model ship so I could add it to my collection and all of that. And then I stumbled upon the arcade, which comes complete with a full 2-lane bowling alley, which is always super cool to see. And before I knew it, it was late night and they had plenty of live music and stuff going on around the ship. By the end of the night, I was back at the local bar and grill, which ended up being my main watering hole this cruise, and I grabbed another drink and kind of sat in that space for a while, and then I was going to take a couple of bottles of water back to my room, but then I discovered that the bottles of water are actually not included in the drink package, so I asked for a glass instead. I had also somehow missed dinner because obviously I ate lunch kind of late, and so I ordered some room service and decided to call it a night.
Alright, y'all, that is a wrap. It is the next day. I'm about to get up and get ready, for a day at sea here in a bit. That will be in the next installment of this thing, but thought I'd recap this morning from yesterday. I need to go back and get some footage of stuff that where I was at and what I was doing, because I didn't do a very good job of that last night. They were definitely pouring the drinks nice and strong, and yeah, that's why I didn't close out last night. I was way too slurry speech drunk by the end of the night. And surprisingly, I was in bed, done by like 11:30. Zonked out. So I did get room service, although the local bar and grill, which I think that's where I'm going to spend a lot of time, I think that's 24 hours. They told me that
last night that they serve until 3:30, but yeah, in the app it says 24 hours, at least for today. I checked right now, and I was like, dang, 24 hours, that's crazy. I don't think there's any other cruise line or whatever ship I've ever been on where they've had 24-hour food access like that. So I will maybe test that later and see if I'm up late enough, if they're still serving food or something. But anyway, Norwegian so far isn't bad. It's definitely got its quirks. Like, for example, the Wi-Fi that I got that I thought was free, it was free, but it was only 75 minutes. And by the time I figured out how to even access that, I had already wasted like half of those minutes. So, yeah, I'm not gonna really have Wi-Fi this cruise. I was looking to see if they have like just a 1 day that I could do, because like days where more in port, I'll have cell service. So it's just like the sea days where I would need it, but nope, you can't, pick and choose days for Wi-Fi apparently. But I did end up getting the text or the chat option where like you can use like iMessage and WhatsApp and stuff, and that's like $3 a day or something. So I paid $12 to have that for the rest of the cruise so I can talk with my peeps. But no book face, no Snapchat, none of that. I'm gonna have to really be disconnected this cruise, it seems. It should be okay. I've gone without Wi-Fi before and been totally fine, but next time I will upgrade my Wi-Fi beforehand to the unlimited, because it would have been way cheaper to do that before I got on board. So I guess that's a tip for you. But anyway, I'm done rambling for now. I'll show you more and explore and stuff in the next video, and I'll recap different things as I think about them. Yeah, but I'm not hating NCL so far. Definitely having to figure some things out. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just different, and that's okay. But yeah, I want to thank you all so much for traveling with me. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all those fun things. We'll talk soon, and y'all have a good night.